Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Welcome to another episode of No More Timeouts. You know you rocking with your boy Roche and JJ. Man, another episode, man.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey man, you know me, man. Living. Definitely living. Rough night.
So, what'd you say?
I said I had a rough night last night though.
What were you drinking? What were you partaking in?
Hey man, I was honestly chilling at the house, enjoying my one of my favorite pastimes, hopping on the sticks, but I was drinking a little bit too much while I was doing it. Man, it's like it was one of those things where it was one of those times I actually stayed up. I haven't stayed up in how long. It's tired, you can tell. But yeah.
That's what's up, bro. The homie Lenny's in town, so I got out a little bit yesterday. Met downtown.
Shout out Lenny, man.
Shout out Lenny.
One of our biggest supporters, man. You for sure see this shit.
Yeah, so we got to watch a little bit of Wembanyama's first game in the summer league. So might as well start there. Victor Wembanyama, first pick in the NBA draft, highly anticipated debut in the summer league, and it didn't go as planned. It did not go as planned, and I'm not worried yet. But it was interesting to see how the defense was playing him, how everybody on the Charlotte Hornets was kind of like, nah, we're not gonna let him. We're not gonna let him do that to us. Like, we are not gonna let that happen with us. So they were really blitzing him and trying their hardest.
I don't think I've ever seen so much like it was so funny how hard everybody. As soon as he got the ball, bro, I was like, damn. Let's get breed. Summer league, they'd already Scoot had got hurt. Remember earlier the game before, and then even the other top pick, the kid,
Eamon Thompson, the twin.
Yeah, one of the twins got hurt. So it's like, dude, come on, y'all. These kids got careers. I'm down. I get it. You want to be the one to, welcome him to the league because, a lot of these dudes are second-year players, some third years, It's like, and you want to be the one to be able to say you did something or whatever you want to, however you want to partake in that. But it's like, man, come on, man. Everybody got futures, man. Back up off him. But I will say this. I don't think he's it.
I need you to say that again. I want to make sure that people hear this. Roche, are you ready to go there? Are we ready to say he is not it?
I know it's one game, but
so his stats. Let me give you the stats for yesterday. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 2 for 13 from the field. That's his stat line from yesterday. Okay, now as you were
from the field, bro. You're the number one pick, and you go 2 for 13. That means two things: you were taking horrible shots, or you're just not a bucket like people think you are. Come on, bro. It's what did Brandon Miller have his first game? I think he had 22 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a big game, but he scored. It's like you got being. I get it. I don't want to overdo it, but I know that being the number one pick, you definitely got to come and show something. And some of those shots were horrible that he was taking, bro. I was seeing some of these things and the way he was shooting them, and he was letting people push him around and push him off the bball. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He has a lot of strength to build, and that's probably going to be his biggest thing. If he can build the strength, then I might be eating my words. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I said in the first episode, I really, really think that the size and the physicalness of the NBA and the other grown ass men that play this game, it's gonna be a problem for him. Because if you notice when LeBron came out, he had the body already. You know what I'm saying? You could already tell LeBron was gonna be hub. You know what I'm saying? Look, now he lasted. Carmelo was a big dude, and when he came out, I talk about them too because for me, they were probably the last 1 and 2 picks that really were the 1 and 2 picks, you know what I'm saying? Those picks that, okay, them was the boys, you know what I'm saying? So it's body size.
Yeah, it's gonna take him some time to get used to the physicality of the game. Even a few times he was dribbling and he just got ripped. He should not even worry about trying to put the ball on the floor to start out. You know what I mean? Just defend. Let your point guard set you up for plays. But right now I think he was just trying to do a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And
The other point guard who played in the game with him was nice though. Second year dude there. I honestly
yeah.
forgot his name.
So
I was watching
so
it while I was doing stuff.
I will say I feel like everybody just relax. Let's give him some time. But I hear you. It's the first pick, so maybe we should be we should be seeing more from day one.
I sound like
Um,
Lenny right now.
yeah. So he was in Vegas this week, and there was some other news with Wimby that we have to talk about. He was at Catch in Vegas, just going to dinner, minding his business, seeing what these states have to talk about. He's new here. He's only been here what 2-3 weeks in America. And he was at a restaurant, and security basically told him, "Hey man, keep walking, don't stop for nobody." And apparently, Brittney Spears, yes, Brittney Spears saw him and ran up behind and wanted to tap him on the shoulder, and caught a backhand from
Oh,
his security guard in the
nah.
face. And she is demanding an apology from Wemby and his security team. Um, do you- now, if you see the video, she definitely caught a solid left in the face.
Oh my
But was it
god,
was
bro.
it hard enough to say that she deserves an apology?
But it's like, how are you not giving the dude credit for he didn't even really see you. Like, let's just be honest here, bro.
Yeah,
He didn't see you. Like you ran up behind him, you tapping on him. Like we said, this is the number one pick of the draft. You know what I'm saying? This is the kid everybody wants to see. And you coming up behind him and swinging you coming, you got swung. Like the dude was really just protecting what he was doing what he was supposed to do,
security was
and
definitely doing his job.
yeah, and that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
So for me, I don't think she needs an apology. I think she's doing too much. You know what I'm saying? She's like fishing for publicity. You know how a lot of stars do at the end of their careers when they're on the back end, doing these Vegas residencies and stuff like that. Nothing against them, you know what I'm saying? She had a great career, great musical career. She was a great artist. But, any publicity is good publicity, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this is her chance to get in on the publicity of Wembanyama. And that's how I kind of think about it, um it was funny as hell though.
yeah.
when you
No, it
said it,
was. It
when you
was.
told me about it, like I said, I've been super busy all weekend. And you told me today, so I got on my phone when I was driving, and I looked at it and I go, "Oh hell nah!" I was like, the way she ran up, it looked like a groupie. You know what I'm
What'd you
saying? Like,
expect? What'd you
yeah.
expect to happen, regardless if
So
you're Britney Spears or not? Like, what'd you
that's how I.
expect?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, who are you to sit here and tell me, But hey, I'm sorry, Brittany. Hope you're okay.
Wimby, man, you're in the perfect city. You're in San Antonio. You're new to the states. Hey, man, this is gonna be the first of many of people trying to run up on you. Just stay in the gym, bro. Just stay in the gym. That's it.
Yeah.
Stay out the way. San Antonio's perfect for you.
Yeah, but seeing Vegas is probably something he wanted to do. So you
Oh,
can't
one hundred
have the
percent.
kid.
Yeah,
Saying,
yeah.
is he even like 21?
No, he's
No,
19.
what the
Yeah.
hell you doing, man? Go. Who was you at? He was at New York in the arcade.
For, um, So we gotta touch on free agency again. So obviously we're still waiting for the Dame trade, and we're still waiting on James Harden. I think that will kind of change how a lot of other things happen. I think a lot of stuff is on pause until we figure out what's going on with them too.
Hmm.
Um, this week, James Harden was at Michael Rubin's white party with a lot of his Sixers teammates. I saw him with Embiid. I saw him with Tobias Harris, Maxi. A lot of the Sixers are there, and it makes me start to wonder: is he going back to Philly? To be honest with you, because it's not looking like there's much of a market for him. And then obviously with Dame, he's saying Miami or nothing, and his agent's really pushing for him to get to Miami. So we'll see. But what's your thoughts there?
I think James has no choice. Like nobody really wants to pay all that money for him right now. And at the end of the day, that team was not bad. You know what I'm saying? I honestly got really upset that they lost. I think they really could have gave Denver a better run for their money. And I think it's just sucks because in a way, Embiid and Harden both have like kind of old man bodies already. So it's kind of hard for them to last the whole season. But like I said, I think the best situation for him is going there. Like, where else do you see him going besides a team that's rebuilding? Like if he wants to try to win, that's the best place for him to be for the type of basketball he likes to play. Like that. I think that's the thing that's so hard with James Harden now. Like it's crazy how fast he kind of regressed, dude. I remember it was like at least 2 years ago. He was, killing shit, 30, 40 a game, 50 a game. Like, it wasn't too long ago. And it's like it it's not it's cool basketball. It's good. It gets you buckets, but it's not entertaining. And on top of that, it's not inclusive. And so I think since Philly already knows what he has and knows what he does, and they're kind of used to it and they're happy with it because he's won them some big games. I think that's a place for him to stay. And on the Dame thing, like I feel him. Like I gave you this many years, you can at least send me where I want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's probably the one thing that I kind of feel about the situation. Like I get it. And I hate this because every analyst says this. The organization is going to look out for themselves, what's best for them. It's like, well, what about what's best for the player that sacrificed all them years playing for you? Losing and going through it all and helping you promote your business, giving you money because we were showing up to watch him go crazy. Like, what about him? Like, can't you help him fulfill his legacy because he was loyal to you? Because he could have left a couple times, and left you with nothing. So,
Yeah,
like, that's how I feel.
it's starting to make me remember when Kawhi wanted to get out of San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, obvious he wanted to get to LA, and
Mm-hmm.
Pop was like, nah, I'm sending you to Toronto. And I'm starting to worry, like, they about to send him somewhere crazy like that. Like,
Hey.
I'm starting to think, like, they're just because Miami just doesn't like, they're obviously not going to trade Jimmy Butler or Bam.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's the package that they really could give? They're gonna have to get a third team involved if they want to get this
It's funny.
complete.
Portland about to hit him with the, oh, you want to go to Florida? Okay, we're gonna send you to Orlando.
Yeah, yeah. You got to Florida. You
We
got
got
there.
there, right? But so I think this, well, if I had to put a package together, my personally, I'm giving up Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give up Duncan if I have to, if they like him because he's a shooter. Um, and I'm giving up a couple draft picks at least, like because Dame's still young. If you could keep Dame and Jimmy and Bam together for at least another 4 years, you can give up at least 2 first rounds and a couple, and then maybe a second or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't give up. I'd probably give up maybe, yeah, probably a first and 2 seconds.
Mm.
But if I have to give up two first, all right, like it's still Dame. You get him for at least 4 years, so I'm down for that. But at the end of the day, I can throw in a couple little people from like our prospects, but at that point, Portland's just asked for too much. Like I think that's the one thing is about it sucks for the athletes who do sign these big contracts and just to get the bag, but then they realize after they got it, like, damn, okay, the bag is cool, but winning sucks. I mean, losing
Mhm.
sucks. So like I'm out of here. But it's hard because the organization has the keys and they're gonna always get what's best for them when you're pretty much turning your back on them. So it's like a
Yeah.
double-edged sword, which just hella sucks, honestly.
Yeah. The loyalty piece that Dame is showing, it might backfire on him because if they don't show loyalty back or like, it could burn a bridge and, 15, 20 years from now, they might not come back and be a spokesman in Portland. You never know,
Yeah,
so they got to remember this and trade him where you want. So we'll see where we go from here. But some of the other deals, we got Grant Williams getting traded, sign and trade to Dallas.
that was
Looks like
low-key a
you got,
big trade for Grant Williams, bro. Like, I
yeah, he
was
got the
like,
bag,
yeah,
53 million.
I was very surprised. Like, I get it. Like, all right, so one thing I gotta say, like being a Warrior fan, of course, you don't really like Grant Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like just for what he said, what he did, how he acted when we played them. But being a basketball fan, you do because he has a lot of grit, like a lot of grit. He plays hard. He's in a position where he's undersized and he still competes and he doesn't back down from anybody. Like, and I like that about him. You know what I'm saying? I actually remember saying, like, I had a conversation with one of my other friends that I wouldn't mind taking Grant Williams if we had the chance to get him at that point. I wouldn't mind him coming over and playing for us. He's the type of player that fits in with us. You know what I'm saying? Can make a 3 or 2 here, but he's for sure grinding on defense, and that's a bench role player that we would like. So, but hey, they gave him the bag. I wonder what he's gonna do. Is he gonna start? Like I'm
Mm.
thinking with that money, you're a starter, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. They need defense around Luca and Kyrie. You know, they need guys like that that just want to defend and do kind of the dirty work for teams. So I do think he's a good fit for Dallas. I do see it. But Boston's man, they're I think they got another move that they're trying to make. Because right now I'm not totally sure it's a complete roster and
Mm.
like a championship contender. Like yeah, they'll be good, but I still think they need another piece. I'm still
Yeah,
trying to figure out what their move is.
I'm trying to
Um,
figure out who's gonna handle the ball still. So,
yeah, is it Brogdon? Like, I
but,
just
but he's hurt.
Brogdon. Yeah, like I don't know. Is it Derek White? Like, I don't know if that's enough to
Derek
say.
White's not a
Yeah,
point guard. He's like a 2K character, like that wants to play point guard. Like
yeah,
you need for that team, you need something like that. But the thing about it is, I honestly, I think they give away their one of their biggest edge was Marcus Smart, bro. Like that boy was a dog. Like defensively, he was a dog. Even though Steph, worked that ass too. You know what I'm saying? But all right,
no,
look,
he
I'm gonna
did.
let y'all know right now. Any chance I can take a jab at somebody for Steph, I'm doing that shit. Because niggas be talking about my nigga for years and hating on him for years and
Say
making
that.
me feel that what I'm saying, he's not one of the greatest. So I'm taking jabs at y'all, just like how Clay took them notes. Hold that. It's gonna happen, bro. I'm letting y'all know right now. But yes, exactly. Give me that. I got
Yeah.
rings, baby. But
Uh,
but they took that he was one of their biggest pieces, dude. Because also the thing about it is he had really developed that corner jumper, that PJ Tucker corner three ball. You know what I'm saying? It started looking nice. He started to be his offense was coming in the rhythm. Like I think they kind of fucked up the core with that, and they could have bring somebody else in and got something else for that. Like oh, I didn't like that move. I'm sorry, Marcus Smart. I feel bad for him because the way he found out, he said he found out and they did it. They literally told the media he was going to be around for a while. Then, ooh, goodbye.
yeah. I love the move for Memphis though.
Yeah,
With everything they got going on, I just feel like they need some adults in the room. I've been tweeting for years that the NBA has a lack of vets on
yeah,
rosters.
yeah,
The vets on rosters are 26 years old now. And that's not a vet. I don't
no,
care in any industry, 26 years old, you're not a vet.
yeah,
So they need some guys that's been through it, that got families, that got some scars. You know what I mean? That they've been through some stuff already. And
yeah,
Marcus Smart has definitely been through some stuff, and he's
yeah.
gonna help Ja. He's gonna help that team. So I like that move for them.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel the
yeah.
same way.
So let's go to the next thing, man. So looks like we got uh, some solid boxing fights coming up in July and August. Some solid fights, man. I think we
Man,
got we got Canelo coming up in August, right? I think it was the end
mhm.
of August.
That yeah,
Um, no, September. We got
that's
Canelo
September.
versus uh
He's fighting Jermell
Charlo.
Charlo, one of the Charlo.
Charlo. Yeah.
So the fun. I'm gonna go on that really quick. The funny thing about that one, right? He was supposed to fight the other brother, which is the bigger brother, the
Okay.
actual middleweight. But again, like the brother said, and I kind of believe it. Canelo's scared because that brother is bigger.
Mm,
He punches like a monster. That boy's a monster, and I'll give it to him. Like I didn't really like them at first, the brothers, because they were two cocky twins, and you could kind of tell how they were, and it was just like they rubbed me wrong in the beginning, but then like just seeing their skill, it started to make me okay. I get it, you know what I'm saying, and they started pointing out things about Canelo that made me realize, yeah, he does duck a lot of fights. He takes a lot of tailor made fights, and that's like it's not boxing. Like I feel like boxing has changed so much, and that it just sickens me. And it sucks because the person who did it is the person who I endorse a lot, which is Floyd. Like you kind of endorse TaylorMade and picking your way once you're the champ. Once you got all
mhm.
the belts, you can kind of pick your own fights. You ain't got to start taking fights you don't
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. You don't have
And,
to fight everybody when you get to a certain point.
yeah.
Do you feel like Canelo is one of the greats?
I'm gonna say I feel like he's had some great fights. He's definitely been one of the greats of our time. But to say he's one of the greats is hard because he didn't all well let's I'll say this. Let me walk back that a little bit. Let's see how these next couple fights goes. Because I think
Next,
he had
next.
signed a contract to fight some of these guys that are, that I think he's been ducking. And we'll see how those go. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that much. You know what I'm saying? Because he has been a great champ. You know what I'm saying? He has been a great fighter. I've seen
Yeah,
some good things from him, and I've enjoyed watching him. So I'll wait to after these fights to see how I really feel about him. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? If what happens, what I think is gonna happen during some of these fights, like I don't think he's gonna sweep them all. I think he's gonna be some. He's gonna win a couple, lose a couple. Then I'm
yeah.
gonna sit here and say no. Like
Okay.
because it he waited so long to fight them and still lost. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have just took them challenges on in the beginning of your career or earlier in your career, which could have made for better trilogies and like back to back fights because everybody loves those like the Pacquiao Margarito 1, 2, and 3 stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Those trilogy fights that people get to watch the person fight a couple times and
Miss
people
those.
love those. Yeah,
I miss those.
yeah,
Like people would fight one, two, three times. Hagler Hearns, those fights are legendary. And
yes,
you're not afraid to lose. And I think a lot of
yeah,
boxers are afraid to lose because it tarnishes their reputation.
yeah.
So we got two other ones that I want to see which one you're more excited for. The Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, and then my favorite, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford at the end of July. That's the one I'm looking forward to. I think I'm a little afraid that it might be 2, 3 years too late, but we're getting it, and
Yeah.
that's all that matters to me. So I'm excited for that one.
So
What's your thoughts on those two fights?
okay, so the Jake Paul one, it doesn't excite me anymore since he lost to the other dude.
Yeah,
Tommy Fury. And then
yeah,
I love Nate though. I think I'd only watch it because I love Nate Diaz. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
I'm a big Nate fan. But it sucks though, because like Jake Paul's talking all this. I'm training for MMA, but you take him to the boxing ring. You know what I'm saying? Like go find him where you said you training for it. But anyways, that's just here and there and that. I really don't have too much else to say about that because like I don't really like him the whole Jake Paul thing, hella energy. I feel like he came into a game where these dudes have been working so hard and he just came in and used his streaming popularity and the things that he did to turn around and try to make a bag and act like he really been doing this for years. And it's like some of these dudes been doing shit since they were kids. Don't come disrespect the game like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that why I don't try to entertain it too much. But I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's just to see if he gets knocked out because at the end of the day, that's what I want to see. And it's cool, but the real deal, Holyfield. Yes, the Bud and Errol Spence fight. I've been waiting for this fight for years. I've been calling for this fight
yeah.
since they both were rising up the ranks. I wanted him to fight. I wanted them to fight around the time where Errol Spence had gotten that the accident.
Car accident.
That
Yeah,
yeah, that was around the time. And after that happened, I had a feeling it was going to be hard because at the end of the day, going through that accident and then trying to fight not too long after that, especially probably one of the hardest fights of your life, would be so hard for him. But all right. So let me ask you this question though. So before I go, who do you got? Who do you got? I feel like we're about to be going at this one right now.
you know what? I think, and I'm not like obviously I'm not as dialed in, but I feel like I see Terrence Crawford. I see the technique. I see he's more technical. But for some reason, man, I just like Errol Spence's style. I just like the way he goes about it. I think it, man. I hope they fight more than once. But I actually got Errol Spence, and I know a lot of my friends I've been talking to got Terrence Crawford.
Yes.
Um, but I got Errol Spence. I do.
So I've been a Bud fan since I've discovered him. If you know me, I tell you, I've been in the boxing for a long time. Like, I have a friend, shout out my boy Aldo. I met him years ago, and through my best friend Eddie. Shout out Eddie. And we used to watch boxing matches together all the time. Like, yeah, I wouldn't see him a lot, but every time a big boxing match was coming through, I get a phone call. You know what I'm saying? And so we used to watch them together, and he got me more into it just to watching it. He had loved Floyd. Imagine this: he was a Mexican dude that hated Canelo, loved Floyd. So of course, me and him got along. But he just appreciated the sport. We always talked great. We had great energy, and me and him discovered Bud together. We were watching a fight where he was on an undercard, and we seen him, and we liked him. And I just said, like, I like his style. I like how he can switch up. He definitely changes his stances. He can switch up. He's definitely a different type of boxer, and he doesn't duck any challenge. And that's the
He
one thing
doesn't.
I love about him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I think that this is going to be a different level for Earl Spence, because Earl Spence is one of those who's doing the same thing the Floyds, the Haneys, like what Floyd did and Devin Haney's doing, and, all these other boxers, the Shakurs and all these fools are ducking each other. Like, it's like, bro, like, why y'all ducking each other? Like, even Tank, like, picking certain people to fight, but now he's picking it up to fight the more people. It's like, okay, why y'all waiting? Get it on now. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We gonna see who did that good now. Let's see who's good later. You know what I'm saying? We could do that. We could do it again. And it's like that's the main reason why for me, I think that it's gonna be a different level. And I definitely see Crawford still getting his hand raised, but I think that if he is to lose, it might be because it's a little too. It's late. The fight is later than Bud's prime, because I also know that he's a little older. You know what I'm saying? And he's been through a lot. And I think
We
that's
needed
home
this fight
competitive score.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like when Floyd and Pacquiao fought hella late.
exactly like
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
people were hella mad. Like they were so mad that, Floyd drug it out. And I was mad too, because I did want to see that when they were both, primed and ready, and a way younger Pacquiao. And I think it would have been maybe a way better fight, but I'm not gonna sit here and say Floyd would have lost. I'm gonna be honest with you right now.
yeah.
I was like, but I would have said it was more competitive. But yeah, man, I got Bud. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So we go, we go,
we're
we
gonna
go
see.
make a little wager. You know what I'm
We
saying?
will.
We gonna talk about it off camera. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Me and you, it's
that's
all
good.
good. But yeah,
But before we leave boxing, man, I have to ask you this because obviously UFC has grown so much over the years, and a lot of things that you laid out about boxing because of people ducking each other, people working with different promoters, it's allowed UFC to grow so much
hmm
because nobody's ducking nobody. You guys are all under
hmm
one roof.
yeah,
You're under one person,
yeah.
one family, and nobody's ducking anybody. So is boxing in trouble like for the long run? Like is there a world where UFC is actually the top guy, like the top,
I
MMA
think,
fighting experience?
yeah, I think if these promoters don't come together and realize that they're losing fans, then yes, because the best thing about UFC, it's a ranking system. So there's a champ, and there's a number one, there's a number two, there's a number three, four, five. So them dudes want to go get them to get that rank because there's only one
Yeah,
belt instead of having freaking 8 belts for one division in two different places:
it makes no
WBA,
sense.
WBC, Americans top. This that it's like there's so much. It's like why like why? How you gonna know who's the best when everybody can get a belt? You mean tell me
Yeah,
I can go win 22 fights against a bunch of nobodies and I can go get a belt? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then now all of a sudden I can call myself a champion. But no, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody knows the WBC belt is the big one, the green one that everybody wants. But still, it's like it's just too much. And I feel like that's where definitely UFC is capitalizing. You know what I'm saying? And they're making each other's fight like tonight. Like there's two championship fights tonight,
yeah,
of Volkanovski and I can't remember the other dude's name. But they're fighting tonight, and there's also another championship fight tonight, and it's just like and that makes people want to watch it, and they're all on the same cards. They're actually fighting on the same cards. Everybody's kind of splitting the bag. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're going to these, and it's like these boxing matches are now all these undercards. I get it. Shout out to all the undercard fighters because my cousin, not my cousin, I'm sorry, my boy Oscar, his cousin is a boxer, and he's been on a lot of undercard fights, and he's actually doing really good. He's definitely gonna be definitely should gonna be something. I think his name is Ray Malata. If I said it right, I might be wrong. Honestly, I know they don't have the same last name, but dude, I've seen this kid fight, and dude, I was like, okay. I told him, hey, because it's nice with it. He knocked some dude out last time on the undercard, but it's cool to see. But it just doesn't. It's so sad because boxing is such a classic sport. It's something that's been around for years. I would hate to see it just die out because these guys are afraid to fight each other.
yeah.
And these promoters are being so greedy that they don't
Yeah.
want to allow their fighter to go fight somebody else in this thing because they're not getting the A side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
frustrating.
and in the UFC, a fight will be like there will be a fight that the fans want, and it's scheduled within 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's automatic. Like whoever we want to see, like they get it done,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that a boxing has to get to. however you spread the money around. But I'm afraid we're losing boxing, man, and especially
We
the
are.
OGs, like like the 50, 60 year olds. Like I know a lot of them can't really get into the UFC stuff.
Hmm.
And I respect, they grew up on boxing. I always try to get my dad to get into it, but the OGs, they're just like, nah, they grew up with the boxing, man, so they just stick
I
with it.
I feel like boxing is fumbling the bag. So like that's the one thing I'll definitely say
Yeah.
because they get big contracts and I like how these UFC dudes are. And that's the one thing
No,
I'll
they don't
definitely
make
say.
nothing.
Dana White over here.
Oh yeah, he is
My
he
man is the
yeah,
finesse king, bro. I'm
finesse.
sorry. I'm sorry if any UFC fighters in here have aspirations. I understand. I hope you make it. I hope you become a big star if you do make it. But if you ain't the star, you ain't getting the bag. And I'm gonna let you know that right now. Like knowing how they get, how he doing them, and honestly, Dana, you need to stop. You need to cut that shit out. Like, and help hook these boys up. They putting their life on the line for your entertainment, for your money, your bag, and you're putting it all in your pocket, bro. Like at the end of the day, that's a very selfish act as a man, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because how I've been growing up is everybody eats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eats. You know what I'm saying? There might be somebody at the top of the food chain, but if the person at the top of the food chain eating, the one at the bottom of the food chain eating too. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt you too much. Start giving these dudes the bag, a little more of the bag. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause at the end of the day, this is traumatic injuries that they can end up with. Life changing things that can happen just from one punch. So
Yeah. So we talked about music last week. We talked about the music industry, and we wanted to kind of get back into just a state of music and how we're seeing the where hip hop's going, where just the state of music's going. We touched on it a little bit, but just curious, man, how you're feeling about the state of music right now. Um, Obviously, I don't even actually know how many years you would say you were
mm,
making music, but I know it was years and years of making music. So this is
yeah.
a serious topic for you. But what's your thoughts on that?
I'll definitely say that I'm not done making music. But it has been, man, it was damn. Honestly, I can honestly say it's been going on like 10 years, dude. Because I started when I met my significant other. And yeah, we were going on 10 years. So that is crazy. I remember being in the studio for the first time and her coming in with her friends and just chilling with me. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first experience of thinking I was a rapper. I had girls in the studio. End up being the one.
Gotta have a girl in the
You know what
studio,
I'm
man.
saying?
If you're gonna be a rapper,
Right, right. And then she
it's
ends up being the
automatic.
one. Oh man. Then she got me, you know what I'm saying? Now I figured out your master plan. I figured it out. But nah man, uh so the thing about it is, so I'll say this. I'll start off with this. Busta Rhymes just got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the BET Awards this past last month BET Awards, and all shout out to Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? That's the music that's the era we grew up on. The era of that real good rap. You know what I'm saying? Like you can even say, got my Tribe Called Quest sweater on here. You know what I'm saying? This is like kind of my sister's era, but it's just shit that we appreciated it from our age because we knew about them when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? So we carried their name on in the legacy, but also their music did it for you. And it's hard because the music nowadays is being the things that are being, I would say, promoted, and the things that are being looked at as good music and things that you should be talking about. It's bad. Like, and I'm not saying bad in the sense like the music is bad. It's just it's what it's projecting onto the youth and the people that are listening to it. Because especially the youth, it's not something that the youth should be being projected to. Like we got kids listening to this. Like I ran across a meme the other day, like this one kid, he was literally, I want to say like 3 years old with his little toy Lego, and he was holding it like a gun while he was rapping to a song. And I'm like, and you're recording this and laughing. This is what you want your kid to grow up and listen to. Like this is what you want. This is what we're doing now. Like being a killer is glorified. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, don't get me wrong, like protect your people, you know what I'm saying? Protect your family, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever get it wrong. I don't let nobody disrespect you. I understand that part too. But at the end of the day, taking a life is not something that should be laughed about. You know what I'm saying? And glorified. But that's one part about it. And for me, it's just there's no originality no more. You know what I'm saying? There's no people aren't so individualist. Like you're hearing all the same type of tone, the same type of rap, the same type of beat. People are talking about the same stuff. And like there's nobody that likes to stick out. And then the dude that does stick out is hella wild and like yelling and screaming and being like off the chart. Like people are doing everything for clicks. Nobody's doing anything for the love of the music anymore. It's all about the click. It's all about the stream. It's all about oh, I'm trying to get I'm gonna do some wild stuff in my video because I'm trying to get 100 million YouTube view. You know what I'm saying? Views. It's like it sucked, man, because all the real artists that we grew up listening to did it because they loved music, like
Yeah,
truly loved music.
and they don't even. And I think Buster even said, in his speech, like, I think we don't even understand how to capitalize on the streaming platform. Like, how do we, what's a stream? Like, how much is that worth?
You know.
Like, if somebody streams your song 10 times, like, what is that value for the artist? And
Mhm.
I think a lot of the music's more pertain to TikTok and social media platforms. um, but is it actually good music? Are you just putting it out for streams? Because I think a lot of these artists are not necessarily in it for the music. It's like it's the stepping stone, you know
Mhm.
what I mean, to get to something else, to
Mhm.
be, have your own brand, to have your own. Rihanna did it, and she kind of laid the the foundation for a lot of these people, for a lot of these
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
She made her music, and she's out of here.
Well,
She's out of here.
drop
So
an album every like 5 years and
yeah,
shit.
they're out of here.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are trying to follow that kind of follow that
But
blueprint.
but even with Rihanna, her music was good. And she
Yeah,
actually loved doing music, but she
yeah,
just realized that she could make a brand for herself from it and went off with it. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like for me, some of these kids, it's like, dude, put some heart into it. Like I
hmm
feel like you walk into the studio, kill a half a bottle of Henny and still and start just doing hella drugs. You just go in there and you mumble for 15 minutes and bam, you got a song. And then
yeah,
but when you put the song out, you backflipping off tables and walking around, with no shirt on, kicking stuff off the counters in stores or something wild just to get a click, and then now you got a song. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's one of those things where there's nothing wrong with making yourself and branding yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like don't tarnish something that was. It's been such a for me, music is an escape. You know what I'm saying? Like putting my headphones on and listening to somebody else speak about what they're going through at the time that might relate to me, or just somebody talking about something in a very poetic way. It's therapy, and that's what it was for me when I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to go in the booth. I used to turn all the lights off. You know what I'm saying? It used to be me. I used to have my headphones on, and it was a vibe for me. Like I really felt it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one thing that was hard for me for stepping away. For the time that I did, I kind of had lost my therapist, and that's the main reason why I told myself I'm going back. Along with doing this, touching on this, doing this with you, which is an amazing time every week. I'm going back to my other therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the time when the boy, the boy was most happiest. So, music does something for people, and it just sucks that there's a lot of people in the industry that doesn't appreciate it the way that there. I know a lot of these artists in the world that grew up around when I grew up, and a lot of the people that were making it back in the day loved it and felt it. And I feel like the love is not there from a lot of these artists anymore. They're just seeing it as an opportunity. It's loving the music,
yeah. I respect that. Maybe we should just cap off the the number of rappers that we can have at a time.
right?
Maybe like 200 is the limit. Like, if somebody drops out, we can have another one come in,
And
or
you,
we
you
can
want
just cap it at a certain
you want to
number.
know who I blame too? Some of these bloggers, bro. Like these crazy, like I blame DJ Academics. I blame you for posting these random dudes on your page. You thinking, is this the new hot artist? Like, bro, like what is he talking? You posted the same video last week from his homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're the stream people on these big social media sites with social media, I feel like is doing it. They get hella money. These dudes send them videos with some money, so they putting them out. Look, now we got another rapper that thinks they're mainstream. And it's crazy. Like, and I don't care. I know some people will come at me for saying this. It don't really matter, but y'all killing the game, man. Saturating the game. It ain't even like it is no more. It's like it's not like DJs control the game anymore. Now people with social media platforms control the game, which is freaking nuts. Like, this is just so crazy. Like, back in the day, it was, take your stuff up to the radio station, see if the DJ message you, or you got to go to the club, the DJ's DJing that, and buy him a couple of drinks and talk in his ear just to get him to play your track. And then that was the way you would kind of bounce up and get there, and that was the fun about it, and that's what made going outside cool. You know what I'm saying? Now even how the game is now, people don't even want to go outside because now the only thing they glorify in music is shooting somebody. So
Yeah.
now going to these events ain't safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all correlates. It's so crazy. Like, you talk about all this stuff, but then when you go to your show and somebody dies from something that happened, you're surprised. Like, that's the energy you bring in. You bring in that energy is gonna follow you. And I think that's the main reason why, like, like it was I I'm not gonna say that I will say I do regret stopping, when I stopped, but I'm happy that I did because it kind of made me step back and just like really see how the game is. Like, maybe it just wasn't my time at the time. Maybe this reboot is really what maybe it's for me, and I think the music I made was a classic and timeless stuff. So I try to keep it in that era.
I respect that. So next thing I want to talk about, there's a topic that's been heavy on social media this week. The number one topic on social media, Miss Keke Palmer. Uh, she, so we're gonna be very we're gonna tread lightly on this. We're gonna tread lightly because the men and women have been at war on this topic on social media. So we're gonna tread lightly, but we're gonna be honest how we feel
Okay.
about this. So
So
Keke Palmer
give us a
has
breakdown.
yeah, so Keke Palmer went to the Usher concert, which I actually went to on my birthday. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a spill on that myself, my personal experience.
Yes.
Um, but she went and he has like a VIP section where he normally has, celebrities that all go and just sit in that booth. I seen Steph Curry
Hmm.
was there. The night I was there, Kim K was there with Kamora Lee Simmons.
Hmm.
So he kind of just says what's up to whoever's in that box. And
Hmm.
Keke Palmer just had a baby within like the last year or so. And looks like it was a girls' night. That's what it looked like. Looked like a girls' night. And she had an outfit on that her boyfriend, I don't even know if they're married, but I definitely think it's her boyfriend, just didn't approve of. So he took to Twitter to tell everybody he didn't approve of that outfit and that she's a mom and she should not be wearing that outfit. Um, so let me clear out for you first. I'm gonna say this: as a man, we have no say in what women wear. We have no say. That's first and foremost. If that's your girl, you have no say, bro. That's a fight you are gonna lose 100% of the time.
100.
Um, so I'll let you go get into it first, and I'll kind of tell you about my experience at the Usher concert.
I just want to say talk about what you just said. Look, and this is for all you men out, these you insecure men out there, because that's what that is. That's insecurity. She's coming home to you. Does that click with anybody? I think that should click. Don't matter what she wears, no matter where she's going, no matter who she's with. Yes, men are thirsty as hell, but and we know that about men. And of course, the more scantily a thing a girl's gonna wear, of course, more guys gonna watch, and more guys gonna flock. But as long as she knows she got somebody solid at home, I promise you, she's gonna fight off every single one of them dudes and come home to you. And if she doesn't, she wasn't for you. She was for everybody, and we don't need the ones that are for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I,
And go ahead.
well, I think he was more so also he was mad at her actions. And he brought it. He said more about her outfit, but I think it was just the way she was dancing with him. I think it was more of that, but he made it about the dress. And I don't,
Bro.
truthfully, I don't
It's
feel like it was
Usher,
about
bro.
the dress.
It's Usher, bro. Hold on, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
look. Hey, all you men out there, look. I'm gonna keep another beat with you. If if your wife has a chance with Usher, she gonna take that shot, bro. And to be honest, bro, you should be happy that Usher picked you up. I'm just
Yeah,
being honest here, bro. I get it. As a man, no man wants to be cheated on. No man wants to even be, I guess, feel like that because we all got the homies like, bro, you see what your girl over here doing right now? Like, that's probably what happened. But still, at the end of the day, Usher's a legend. We all know how we feel about his music. He loves it. It is a ladies' night. She went out, probably had herself a good time. Let her have her good time. At the end of the day, she's a mother. I'm pretty sure she brings home the bag. You know what I'm saying? We know how, we know she is. And she's, she probably doing her thing. She letting loose. Like at the end of the day, like I said, she coming home to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the thing that a lot of these men and their insecurities need to understand in this world. You know what I'm saying? She coming home to you. And just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you be going out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's be honest, we like to go out with our boys and have a good time, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure some things popped up that I know some, you would probably this man would probably do. He probably would same reaction, you know what I'm saying? And so that is also another double-edged sword, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, don't pick your battles, you know what I'm saying? And that's not a battle to really, really pick. Like let her have her fun, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like at the end of the day, like I said, she's gonna come home to you, gentlemen. If you are a confident man, you are a stand-up man, and you take care of your fucking business, she's gonna come home to you. So, let them live, let them have their ladies' night because I'm telling you, they gonna need them ladies' nights, you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna have some sleepless nights, you know what I'm saying? Just
yeah. It was just a private conversation he should have had. It just should have never made to Twitter. I would have been okay if he just kept that between them. If you have something to say about how she was dancing with him,
you
that's
know,
a private conversation. You know what I mean? That's not something you take to Twitter when your girl is a celebrity out here in these streets.
Right. And
So
that's
yeah,
the thing.
because it does look
Publicity.
insecure. It
Like
does.
that's crazy shit again. Like that's the thing. Social media just ruins so many things for people. It's like you ain't got no friends to talk to. You couldn't pick up the phone and call your homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Maybe in a group chat,
yeah,
something.
group chat, put them all, start venting, you know what I'm saying? Like you had to go and say that shit to millions of people that's gonna end up seeing it and just making it way more bigger than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, man, like the insecurities in this world nowadays, it's just wild, bro. Like it's just wild.
Yeah. So, I got to tell you about my experience going to that show.
Yeah,
So
let's hear this.
so I went to the Usher concert, and the young lady, the girl that I'm dating, I told her, I said these seats are kind of close now. So I let her know that there might be a chance that he he could be in our section. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just let her know. We had a conversation about protocol in those type of situations. We did. We had a conversation. It was more like, a dance is cool, a shimmy is cool, but if he trying to feed you strawberries or anything like that, that's a no go. That's that's a no go. We had a real conversation about that. And if you look at my video on IG,
Wait, you said the shimmy is cool.
a little shimmy, what the girls do, a little shimmy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you
I
say?
told her, all
Yeah.
that's good. I'm not tripping, but he's
Yeah.
not feeding no strawberries or nothing like that because I didn't see him feed the strawberries, and we not having that. But yeah, it was a private conversation that never made it to social media, and that's where we should be handling it anyway.
Hey, that is so funny, bro. I've never been to an Usher concert, so I've never seen it, but that is so fucking funny. The
Yeah,
precautionary conversation about going
absolutely,
to an Usher concert with
absolutely.
your
Hey
girl.
man, there's a whole Boondocks episode on this.
No,
That
yes, that is true.
Yeah,
That is true.
so it's real out there, man. Be
Oh
be be
man,
safe.
Boondocks. Oh man,
Um,
that's funny, but that's
so
true.
last topic, man. Before we wrap here, we wanted to talk about some vacation spots. Obviously, it's summertime.
Hmm.
It's nice outside. Everybody's traveling. So I love to travel. I've had a few things this year already.
Hmm.
And I know you got a lot going on. You headed to Vegas tomorrow. But what's some of what's your favorite spot that you've been to? Put some people on.
Um, so it's so hard to pick one. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you my favorite within California, my favorite outside of California, and my favorite, I would say, like, overseas or out of the state. We could do that. Me, we live in California. All you guys know, well, don't know, but now you do. Um, I'm in the Bay. My man Jeremy is in SoCal down there in LA. We're both from the Bay. Um, I have been to the luxury for the job that I work for. I get to travel a lot, so I got to travel all up and down California. And I've been to a lot of places, and it's all amazing. But I will have to say the one place that has definitely dear to me, just in the sense of the vibe and the scenery and the place that I've been to, and just a chance to get away from here and see something different. I have to say San Diego. I
It's
have,
undefeated. It's
huh?
undefeated. It's undefeated.
Undefeated, like the
Yeah.
view, the look, the downtown vibes, the going out at night. You know what I'm saying? All of the whole vibe is it's amazing. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I'm happy I never grew up in San Diego because I was just been out every night, like getting in hella trouble because it's lit out there. It's hella lit. The gas lab. Shout out gas lab in San Diego. That shit is lit as shit. But also just I've gone down there actually a couple times. Went down there for I know Lenny's told you about May Day. We went down there for his birthday a while back. That shit was lit. That shit was cool. And then I went on a little vacation with time with my girl, and then I actually just went again for my boy's bachelor party. So it's a constant place for me to head to. I like it. I enjoy it. The scenery, the beaches out there are amazing. The people out there are hella cool. The food out there is smacking. Like it's so many things, so many experiences. And the thing about it's like I'm not even going for any attractions, nothing big. I'm literally just going just to relax. And that is the best thing about it. And then we'll go so outside of Cali, I've been to a lot of places. Um which is crazy, but I just recently went somewhere that I think I probably had the most fun in. And I would have to say New Orleans. Um,
Mm. Okay.
I went to New Orleans and the food was amazing. Oh man, I ate so much. The experience was great. Oh, the people were amazing. And I've had friends that from New Orleans that I met that have came here to visit, and it was true the way they Southern hospitality is for real down there. You know what I'm saying? It was such a vibe. Everybody in the streets, Bourbon Street, of course, but we walked everywhere. We did a lot of things. It was fun, dude. It was such a great time, and it was such a also, a lot of history is in New Orleans too. So, if you ever get
Yeah.
a chance to go down there and take a lot of those tours and do that stuff, there's a lot of history out there that you can learn from. And to see how much they bounced back since Katrina is amazing. You know what I'm saying? That was a catastrophical hurricane. It did a lot to them. And to see that they bounced back is an amazing experience. And I definitely learned a lot, had a great time. And we actually found out about a festival that they have down there every year for like the locals, not a really big festival to the outside world that's promoted like the other ones that they usually have, but one that's
Hmm.
for the locals, and it's a great time to go. So me and my fiance, I think we've agreed to probably make that a normal for us every year
That's dope.
to go and go down there and enjoy it because it wasn't super crowded, but it wasn't empty, and there was things to do everywhere, great things to do, and we didn't get to do everything that we wanted to. So lastly, I would definitely say, and definitely, keep thinking about your three because I got to hear these too because I know you've been around the world like me. But out of state, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to go to the Asias or Europe or anything like that yet. That's definitely my next bucket list trips. I've been more so a lot of the Mexicos and the islands and the Hawaii's, but Hawaii isn't out of the state, but island wise, man. I would have to say one of the greatest trips, the funnest trips I've been on, but I didn't really get to leave the resort too much, but it was just a good time, was Cabo, Mexico. It was cool. It was a great place. The food everywhere we went to eat was hella amazing. Like my fiance is a good foodie, so she did a lot of research and we took a lot of travel to other places to experience a lot of their food and their culture down there. But the beaches was amazing. The chance to swim was amazing. Like I love the vibe down there. I definitely wanted to say one thing. I wanted to say Jamaica because I had fun out there, but it sucks that I didn't get to leave the resort in Jamaica, so I didn't really get to see what the city was like too much. But I spent 7 days at the resort straight, so it was like that's how you know the resort was lit. But I would definitely have to say Mexico, period, in a whole. Like that's better for me. Like I enjoy that vibe more. Anywhere Cabo, or Puerto Vallarta. I'm going to Cancun next coming up soon. Like any of those, for me, Mexico as a whole, they have a lot of hospitality. I have a lot of Mexican friends. I love them, and I like to get people to understand how nice these people are, and they show it to you when you go down there to those resorts and how they act. That's not just like they're not acting like that for your money. Like these dudes are really really nice. These people are hella nice and hella
Mm.
helpful, and they have a lot of respect. So I would definitely have to say, so San Diego, New Orleans, you could take me anywhere in Mexico that has a beach.
1000%. I love Cabo. I could go every year and I would be just fine with that. You could run that back. Like a lot of cities you'll see and you're like, okay, I've done it. Like I don't need to come back here. But Cabo is I could go every year for
Yeah,
Cabo.
yeah.
I agree again on San Diego. Just the food and but between the downtown and the beach that they can give you, it's like you can get both. You know what I mean? You can get both at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, San Diego Chargers, it's time to go back
For
because
real.
you gave me an opportunity to get there almost every year when y'all was in San Diego. We don't need you in LA, respectfully. It's go ahead and go
Respectfully,
back to San Diego so we can make that an annual trip to San Diego.
ruining my vacations, man.
Yeah, it was an easy trip to get there. I will throw two more cities. I think New York in the summer is undefeated. I think
Yeah.
it's just the history, the music, the sightseeing that you could do there. I think it's in the summertime. I don't know if anything else can top that in the summer. I
Yeah.
really don't.
I went at the
Um,
end, the tail end of summer, right when the winter started. So it was like
yeah,
it was kind of one time. We've gone at the back end of summer, winter going into spring. That was the one. That was the funnest trip. Like honestly, New York, period, as a whole.
New York's
Like
amazing.
like you if you are not because the one thing about it is you have to be willing to step out your hotel and go walk around, go enjoy
You
that
gotta
shit.
walk.
Be a
You
New
gotta
Yorker.
walk.
You know what I'm saying? See the vibe and the atmosphere that they get to soak in every day. New York is one of our founding cities, you know what I'm saying? And you really get to feel that, see everything. And especially, after 9/11, there's a lot of memorials, a lot of things that you would like to see if you really go downtown. And it seems that you should see. And it's a different, and anybody, my people that's from California that haven't been to New York, that is a trip you need to make because it shows you the two different aspects of two different sides of the world.
Yeah,
Like it is not the same out there that it is out here. It's not. It's crazy. Most of my family's from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that we go to a lot of time. I just went to Jersey not too long ago, and that whole area, just how it's all connected, everything it is different. And if you ever
yeah,
talk to a New Yorker, that shit is entertaining, and
yeah.
they have a whole different. It's a whole different slang for somebody
It
that's
is.
in the same
It
place.
is. I got one more city, and this is when I got my first stamp. Bro, we was like 20, 23, 24. Like we were
Yeah.
young, not much money in our pocket to be honest with you. And we went to Toronto. And I heard about Toronto at this time. This is really before Drake really blew up the spot. Like, I mean, we were all listening to Drake at this time, but like people weren't thinking of Toronto as Toronto now. It's so diverse. And what's crazy is when we went, the World Cup was going on.
Oh,
So US was playing. I remember US was playing Portugal, and we
mm,
watched it at a local bar. And
yeah, because
not a lot of
Portugal
US
probably
fans, I
made
will
Europe.
tell you that.
Yeah,
So I forget what year that was. We can look that up, but it was US versus Portugal, and they were playing, Ronaldo, at the time.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it was just a really diverse city, man. One of their staples that they have is called poutine, where it's fries,
Mhm.
cheese, and gravy, and that don't sound like like it might hit, but
That
I was
actually
ordering
sounds kind
that
of fire.
all week.
It actually kind of sounds a
No,
little
it was
fire.
fire. That was like, they asked you, do you want fries or do you want poutine fries? Like that's where they was asking at every spot.
It just
Um,
sounds hella weird. It sounds
it
hella
it
weird to
sounds
say.
crazy. It sounds crazy. But I highly suggest anybody to get to Toronto, man. It's a special city.
Yeah,
Definitely a special city.
definitely. Yeah, I can definitely. As somewhere me and my fiance want to go to. So,
Okay.
we've been talking about that for a minute. It kind of came up a little weird when she said it. Like, and she was like, I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Toronto." I was like, I looked at, it, I
People
was
were
like,
nice, man. They were really nice.
yeah, yeah. So
Really nice.
hey, that's something I might have to, what I'm saying. Like I said, I've been to almost every not every state, but like I've been to so many states in the U.S. I've been to a lot of places overseas. I've been to South America, back to my home country, Guyana. I've been to Jamaica. Been on cruises to a lot of those down in Mexico. Almost every place in Mexico. I've been in a lot of places, and I can definitely say that I have aspired to do so much more. But I also know that sometimes it's just hard to just travel and see the world all the time because at the end of the day, we got jobs. But traveling is just for me. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to do because it helps you grow. It helps you grow as a person. It helps you get cultured, and it also helps you to not be sheltered. To other things that you see. Because I went to some places like third world and stuff like that. Where I'm from, Guyana, it's kind of considered a low key third world country, and it's not as bad as the Africa is, and some places in Africa and some other places where it's super poverty stricken. But it has it's it has some things that will open up your eyes, like cows walking to your up in your backyard free range. And my I literally went out there and one of my uncles had a car that had a hole in the floor. Like we was riding in a car and I was looking at the ground under me while the car was moving. You know what I'm saying? Like they do what they can and what they have. But the one thing I'll say about a lot of these people from these places, they're just always so happy. And that's the one thing about America that I feel like we don't appreciate what we got. And if we appreciate it so much, we would be just as happy as these people because they appreciate every little thing that they got. And we don't. We take advantage of everything. We want everything. We feel like we are owed everything. And it's like, dude, like the world don't owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have so much already. Appreciate it. And I promise you, your happiness will be so much more. Like,
Yeah. The passport has to fill up. There is still other cities. Like I haven't been to New Orleans, obviously, like Chicago. Those are two probably the next two that I'll go to. But I feel like the passport is we need to be filling it up because if you talk to people that are from other countries, they was like, why are you taking trips, vacations in the States? You should be taking trips outside. Go see something different, like you said. So that's the goal, man.
So it's really quick before we do get out of here. That Chicago, we're going to that Chicago Raider game. So we can knock that off.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I was already kind of planning on going. So
yeah, Chicago gotta happen, man.
Yeah, but yeah, man. That's the one thing I definitely, I'm happy we got to address the topic of traveling because I wanted people to understand that seeing the world is something that everybody should do at some point. And it helps you just in life, and it's lessons and running into people. Like when I went to New Orleans last time, just a quick thing. I actually had my Big Pun shirt on, and I ended up meeting this white dude. He was from Jersey. He moved to New Orleans, and he just lived down the whole time. And he was vibing off the shirt. We was talking about this the whole time. Like we got hella good service from the place we was at. He was hooking us up with stuff, and it was hella crazy. And all because of the shirt I had on. And just a good conversation with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you never realize how much a real good conversation with somebody can go very far. And it can help you grow so much as a person. And I think that's the main reason why I've grown so much. I was having the fortune of traveling early with my sister and my mother and things like that as a young kid. So I've appreciated it, and I've been cultured, and I've seen other people's lifestyles. And it'll change your life for the positive, I promise you.
Yep. 100%, man. Well, I think that's a wrap for this week, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's a wrap, man. Well, you enjoy your time. Me, tomorrow I'm off to go with me some money.
Yes, sir. What you playing? What game do you like to play out there?
Man, I roll them dice, man. I gotta keep the hood with me a little bit, But yeah, I'm a big craps man. Honestly, I've learned a lot of nuances from the game. YouTube University, shout out. Thank you. Hey, like I said, I'm not gonna give much plug. Hey, shout out to Color Up YouTube. My dude on Color Up YouTube. That is the dude who I've been watching all YouTube videos, get some strategies from. Let's see if they work, man. Hey, either put it this way, either next week I would be hella happy.
Yeah, you gotta report back.
So we go see what happens. But yeah, honestly, man, it's cool. It's supposed to be hot as hell though. Man, I heard it's supposed to be hot as God, but it's all good. I'll be inside. But hey. That is a wrap for us. Thank you once again, you guys, for tuning to another episode of No More Timeouts. You were walking once again. You rock with Roche and JJ. Please do not forget to subscribe, turn on them notifications. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be hitting y'all every week. We're going to keep this thing going. And we checking out.